Hi, this is Ruff Hune. I'm here to talk to you today about the new STIHL MS881 chainsaw. We're going to be testing it with the Logosol F2 Plus sawmill. First thing I want to say is, in order to use the Logosol F2 Plus, you're going to need to use a chainsaw carriage with it. Now, the MS881, unlike the 880, this comes with captive nuts like the 661 or the 261 and so on. This is going to be a problem because you can't take these off. So what I recommend you do is, if you've got an 880, take the side cover off it. It's a compatible part. If not, talk to your STIHL dealer, get yourself a side cover off an 880. Comes with standard nuts, no captive nuts. You can put that straight onto your 881, and then your Logosol nuts go straight over the top. Then you can use the saw carriage and all the other components. Today on the Logosol, we're going to be running the STIHL MS881, and the smallest bar which STIHL make for it is 30 inches. So that's what we're going to be running today. This is a STIHL Rapid Super, that's full chisel to everyone else, 404. I've had it specially reground. I don't know if you'll be able to see any of this, but the top plate is 0 degrees. So a standard rip and chain is normally 10 to 15 degrees. This is reground by my dealer to 0, because he said he'd do it for me, which saves me a lot of time. So this is what we're going to be putting on today. So as I mentioned before, you take your 880 off. And this is a brand new chain. This saw is not, it's not been bedded in, this is brand new. I don't think it's ever been fired up, unless it's fired up at the warehouse. Right, so as I mentioned before, non-captive covers. Right, Logosol bolts on, Logosol nuts are on, bolts nuts are both on. Just finger tight. Now, normally on my milling saws, I take the dogs off, as you can see on my 880. I haven't had time to do the 881 here. I just thought about it before the video, to be honest. But such is the way. Give me a couple of minutes of tension to steam up. And then we'll put it on the Logosol carriage. Now, Logosol also very kindly sent me one of their little winch systems. It's called a crank feed. And they're absolutely fantastic. If you've ever had to push an Alaskan mill or any sort of other chainsaw mill through a large log before, it can be a little irritating at times. With this crank feed system they've got, it's absolute genius. It makes it so much easier. Now, one thing I find when using this mill is I tension it at the start. I put the saw carriage on. When I do this, normally I'll start it up, give it 30 seconds with a bit of throttle, warm the chain up, warm the bar up, oil it all up. Then I'll find out how to retension again. Now it's a lot easier to retension it before you put the saw carriage on. So I'm going to do that now.
A few moments later.
So we'll get this set up and go do some milling. We've got the STIHL MS881 set up now on the Logosol F2 Plus. We're running a 30-inch 0.404 full chisel, but we've modified the top plate to 0 degrees for a ripping chain. So, take the top cut. really enjoying cutting this beautiful English oak with the STIHL MS881. It's going through very, very smoothly. I really like the cleanness of the cut.
Ja.
The little winch handle, which pulls along the carriage, is absolutely fantastic. Just takes a lot of the stress and pain in the arse out of doing this, basically. Yeah, it works really well. Makes it so much smoother, less stress, as I say. And what an amazing cut. So let's have a look at this. Just slide this off a little bit. See how it's cutting like. Ooh! Oh, pretty, isn't it? You got a nice bit of English oak. There you have it. Put it. Yeah, I like that a lot. Here we're cutting through some rather nice character English oak. It's not very wide, but as you can see, the saw glides through it. Leaves a really good cut, really clean, smooth finish if your chain's sharp and all precise. Yeah, very clean cut compared with, for example, a bandsaw, usual chainsaw mills, which are all sort of jiggity-jaggedy and wavy and such. Yeah, very little sawdust on it. Beautiful cut, very smooth. Yeah, almost comes out planed. Very happy with that. Thought try a little bit more of a substantial log on the F2 Plus. This is a nice piece of yew. It's about a 12-inch top and about a 20-inch bottom, if I'm feeling generous. So let's see how the F2 Plus deals with that and how the 881 deals with it. This will be fun. And moving on to the bigger yew, like I say, just goes through it smoothly. I mean, it's an 881, it's 120cc chainsaw ripping through a 18-20-inch piece of wood. It's yeah, it's great. Loads of power, smashes through it, and like I say, leaves a really beautifully clean cut. That if you can dry the wood flat, then you'll hardly have anything to take off. It'll like literally almost comes out planed. It's quite beautiful. Have a look at the grain pattern on some of this yew. Quite stunning. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. That's beautifully. Not a very large piece of wood, but it's quite a pretty one. Even this sort of half-dried, very dense wood, you know what I mean? It's it smashes through it absolutely no problem. Yeah, I'm sure you could probably put a 30-inch log on this if you put a table under it, like we've done in the past, and quite easily cut through it, I'd imagine. 881's just, it's a powerhouse, unstoppable. And the F2 Plus just makes milling planks and beams and square edge stuff so much quicker than if you were using an Alaskan or something similar. It's kind of pretty. Right, so yeah, here again with the STIHL 881. We're cutting this nice piece of yew. It's performing very nicely. Very nicely. Yeah, let's get some more cut. Watch your ears. Remove my mask this time. Because yew is toxic. this one. Oh, that's heavy. Got another nice one. Ouch. And this is why I love milling. Let's see this. Beautiful. Right. Let's get it stacked. Running. So to summarise really, the Logosol F2 Plus and the STIHL 881, it's a hell of a team. You're not going to find a vlog which is going to be them two really. If you can get it on the mill without destroying it, you can cut through it at the 881, end of story. It's very, very quick, yeah. Quite a bit of kerf on it, it's obviously running a 404 chain, but if you need a workhorse to build your log cabin or barn or whatever you're building, then yeah, it'll do it. Yeah, love a bit of kit. Crank handle, lifesaver, makes life so much easier, so much quicker, and just all round less effort. It's fantastic, as I bought one earlier. Yeah, it's all together a great team. They're absolutely brilliant together. Right, well, we're looking quite light at the moment, so that's pretty much all we've got time for today. But we'll be doing more testing of the 881 with the Logosol F2 Plus, with various different types of wood, sizes, and so on and so forth. Before we get on to doing some really big, crazy stuff with the Panther mills. Looking forward to that too as well, actually. But yeah, thanks for watching. Oh yeah, usual disclaimer. So yeah, I don't get paid for doing this. STIHL, Logosol, other companies do send me stuff for free to test, and that's it really. The 881's not mine, it's on loan, as I've mentioned before in other videos. The wood's mine, and that's how I earn money, by actually cutting up and selling wood and chopping trees down and such. That's what I do. I'm a woodsman, sawmilling, tree surgery, forestry, chopping up trees basically. So yeah, so that's my disclaimer. Right, till the next time.